What is up, guys? My name is Blinkies, or Blinky, or Blink, whichever you prefer. I am going through and making a few videos for my starting friends in the new season. We don't have a bunch of information on the new season just yet, but I'm trying to go through some basics here. I've mentioned this in a few of the previous videos, but there are two sets of damage, or really there's three sets of different types of damage. So you have flat damage, you have what I would say is additive damage, maybe you've got a different term for that, and then the third would be multiplicative damage. So I want to show you a few different scenarios of this, just really quick. So on your weapon, you're going to start with some base physical damage, right? So 419 physical DPS, okay? You may have other sources of this, like this bottom affix here adds 22 to 28 physical damage to attacks and skills for every mana consumed, right? Up to 200 times, right? So that is what I would call base damage, okay? You're going to have things, maybe we can check this one out here again, where it's just what I would call additive damage, okay, which is just flat plus percent whatever melee damage or cold damage or physical damage, whatever it is, okay, that adds to the damage, okay? So useful, and you need this, but not necessarily as useful, I would say, as base and multiplicative damage, okay? All three are very important. You need all three, but an example of multiplicative damage would be your intelligence, okay? So and just taking a quick look at the skills, right? So in this one here, you've got dexterity, you've got intelligence. These are base stats for my skill, okay? If I come in here and let's say you can kind of tell here, I'm not putting anything into strength, I'm not putting anything into dexterity, but intelligence, I get a 0.5% of additional damage, skill damage, for every point I have. So, like I've got 358 here, right? Whatever 50% of that. So I'm getting 124 additional damage off of this stat alone, and that's a multiplier. Okay, so really strong, really strong. Um, there are going to be other examples of this. Maybe we can find one here really quick. Let's do something like this, right? You can see here 27% additional. So additional is kind of the notifier of whether or not it's like additive or multiplicative. So if it says additional damage, that's going to be a multiplier. So we can do our damage times 1.27, right, is kind of a rough math on your additional damage here. There's probably a better calculator for that. I'm sure I'm getting it wrong. The game can be complicated, but the idea is that that will increase your damage by 1.2. Okay. Um, there are a few easy ways to make sure you get that early on. One way is going to be your hero talents, especially this memory of origin. You want to make sure that you get your base stat here, right? Whether it be strength or dex or intelligence. Okay. Another really easy way, maybe after you get into, the mapping portion of the game, would be really just simply through your pack page. So you can get these what are called fates or destinies in the trade house, that can give just straight intelligence or straight um, dexterity or strength. I'll kind of show you these here really quick. Sorry, wrong spot here. Am I in the wrong spot? Micro fates. Sorry. Let's go here. Sorry, we were in the other spot. So you can kind of see here that survival, melee, so you can get 12 to 15 just straight strength, right? So if you got 12, you get 6% additional damage. Well, per one, right? Especially when these only cost 7 FE, you can get up to 9 of these. That's a lot of really good damage to kind of add to your build early on. Okay, if you have any additional questions on that or anything you'd like to chat about, let me know. I will review the comments and get back to you as soon as I can. Thanks, guys.